Hey everyone, it's James Lambert, the motivational coach and speaker. I went from knockouts to knowledge and from headlocks to hugs. I still embrace people, just now in a different way. So in this video, I really wanted to get into something, not in too much depth, but to encourage those of you out there that are going through your own struggles, challenges and obstacles. And for all the world, it can seem like a test. But that test can, I know in my own life, I've seen it as almost something that can break you if you're not careful. And you see the challenges as really not being blessings, but just absolute, complete and utter problems. Problems to be despised and hated. And when you meet a problem or obstacle with that energy of hate, of displeasure, of dislike, seeing it as a torment and something that really adversely affects you, you get more of the same, and it becomes very troublesome indeed and can affect your health both physically and mentally and spiritually. And so I want you to see any challenges in your life as tests, for that is in part what I truly think they are. And let me put it in context. If I have been going through some challenges without going into too much into it, somebody, and this was a family member, which makes there's all kinds of issues entangled within that. That's an entire thing in itself. But upset my mum, and my goodness, if ever I was unsure of the depths of my love that I felt for her, and my mum and dad are the most precious things for me. Once I saw she was upset and someone had hurt her, my goodness, I don't mind admitting that the anger I felt, it was extraordinary. It was like a pilot light of emotion. And my goodness, thoughts came rushing into my head and mind of how I would have acted previously in a very unpleasant manner with the individuals or persons involved, even though they were family. Because when push comes to shove, somebody had hurt my mum. As I say, that was the gut response. But when I delved deeper into it, I sat with the emotion. I sat with it for a long time. But in the end, if everything, as I believe, is love, the only real thing is love, everything else is unreal, that which isn't love, I thought, are these feelings of anger, revenge, violence, are they of love? No, then they are unreal. I returned to love. I sat with the feeling of love. And in the end, I just came out with it with compassion for everyone. Great compassion with everyone and understanding, because I realised that if I had had the life they had, with the beliefs they have, rightly or wrongly, it is as it is. And moreover, you have to give people the freedom to be as they are, even if I find it unpalatable. I did a video previously about being a judge, jury and executioner. I have to believe that people have to atone for themselves. And ultimately I realised that the person is not only hurting but unhappy, because unhappy people make others unhappy. You have to project that, particularly when you're not brave enough or wise enough to face that pain yourself. And we all like a scapegoat. My goodness, I know I've done it for the longest time previously in my life. So, as I say, when I sat with the initial problem for longer, all I had was love. Love for all involved. Love for the person that hurt, my mum, love for myself, love for my mum, love for just everyone. And it comes back to that, because I realised that, again, what really helps me, will this matter in a week, a month, a year from now, 10 years from now? No, not really, because we're all going to die one day. And so these petty differences of how we perceive each other, and this person should have done that, and that person should have done that, we're all human, we're all frail, we're all, I believe, doing the best we can with our current level of knowledge. And yes, we get hurt and our ego gets involved. And again, when a person has been made to think they're almost untouchable, or a king or queen, who is to blame really? Is it that person, or for those around them that encourage that thinking? So again, it's much less, there's always a deeper level of context. So as I say, I say that to say this, I felt a certain way, sat with it, returned to love, and now my response is different. If you are, and I saw it as a test, because this is the point. If I'm really about love, and if I get to talk on it, and if I really have transformed the leopard who changes spots, Mr. Happy, if I really have taken that violence and rage and anger and hate and transformed it into beauty, love, peace, tolerance, compassion, kindness, well then this is an opportunity to demonstrate it. And yes, you could say, oh, but it's close, or you would be justified. No matter. You have either changed or you haven't. And again, no judgment. I'm human. I'm kind on myself. But that's precisely why I sat with the feelings and considered them. And I invite you to do the same with whatever problems you're going through. But if you are going through a challenge, if you struggle with alcohol and you are being tested, see it as a blessing. See it as an opportunity to grow. See it as, have you really changed? And not to be judged, but it's a wonderful potential for growth. So instead of saying, oh no, why am I being tested? Oh, I am being tested. It means I'm ready. And so as I say, I took it a first way. The first time I realised someone had hurt my mum emotionally, going to react in an old way of thinking, an old paradigm, an old mindset. And then you realise there's nothing but love. Love is the only thing that's real. Anything other than love is unreal. Love is all that is. And so, if you're going through challenges, see them as blessings. I encourage you to see them as teachings and let it be of great encouragement to you that you are ready. So, they often say, when the student is ready, the master appears, but realize that you are really the master teacher in your own life, and everything that comes along is just a test. And when you pass the test, it's like you don't have to do it again. In many ways, yes, it's ongoing throughout one's life, but again, that shouldn't be seen as upsetting. You're growing and learning all the time, as am I, and it's a beautiful thing. So instead of, again in my life, instead of seeing that as a horrible thing, or even when I first felt the anger, I could have had a whole heap of self-condemnation. Oh, Mr. Happy, how can you feel like this? And ad infinitum, all the judgment. It's because I'm human, and moreover, it's because I sit with that instead of just responding. Or just, oh, you've pissed me off, bang. No. Sit with it. Is it love? If it's not, that's okay. But what's the feelings behind that? And are there more than one side to the story or two sides? Of course there are. So you sit with it, you return to love. And when it helps me, I just offer it to you. When you really sort of get that, we're all here for such a short time, the petty differences, even the major ones, it doesn't really matter in the end. Live and let live, as I say. You can agree to disagree, and that's okay as well. You honour others and love them by giving them the freedom to think as they do, even when you don't agree with it, even when you think it's distasteful, even when maybe your previous response or current response would be to violently disagree with the opposition. Don't, because they're all entitled, and if you had had the same upbringing, you also may think as they do. So I'll leave you with that. I hope you found some value in this video. As I say, if you are going through challenges, see them as blessings, see them as enormous teaching vehicles for you to grow through and with, and you'll be okay. As I say, love is all that matters. The more we love each other, it's a beautiful world. As always, you are unstoppable, and I believe in you.